welcome back to From the Clubhouse. Good to have him back in studio. We chatted to him last season. Kobus Ruth, the head coach for the Western Province ladies side. Kobus, good to see you again.
Great to be back, Jeremy.
Now, a new season, new challenges, and for you though, exactly the same assignment, win as many medals and many trophies as possible.
Well, that's what I expected from the bosses, eh?
Absolutely. But a really good bunch of ladies at in your squad this year. What are your plans for 2013-2014?
Yes, a lot of new ladies, a lot of new faces there. I believe our squad's a lot stronger than it were last year, so being pushed from the top and everywhere, so we want to try or attempt to do the same feat and go for all 3 trophies this year again.
But what is it that, besides the inner workings sort of below provincial level, but what is it that sets us apart? I mean, is that it, or is there more?
There's a lot more, Jeremy. We do a tremendous amount of hard work off season. We start early in the season. I don't know what other provinces' programs is like, but we start from mid-June already. Fitness plays a major role. We cover skills. We cover all bases, and there's a couple of tricks that I've got up my sleeve as per normal. I don't want to wish to give away to everybody, but that's things that work for me. But we do mental skills. We take the goals away on camps, and cover, as I basically said, all the bases that needs to be covered, and make sure that we're successful, and just providing an environment for the players where they're happy in, because then I find that you get the best out of them.
Kobus, you also have quite a few additions to the squad this season, and to mention your conditioning coach this year, Gabby Lee van der Westhuizen, she's been appointed. How does her role fit in part of the squad, saying that you guys started back in mid of June, she's been appointed just after that? Is there a specific role that she has in the side?
Yes, very much so. She, as you mentioned, she's a conditioning coach, so she spends a lot of time with me. We work out programs for these girls, specific programs to get their fitness levels to national requirements first of all, so that they can be recognized nationally or be up for selection nationally. And then we work with the players just to get their fitness levels as high as we can push them. And then obviously with the conditioning you need to see that you don't overdo it with players, but it's exciting times ahead for us, really is.
Successful season last year. Players in the national setup, you must be a very proud coach.
Man, over the moon. There's not much to say about that. It's over the moon. It's been an amazing season. I can't ask for one of those again, but I am. I'm very hard on myself in that regard, and I put it through to my players. I would like to see them grow with me, put better humans out on the streets eventually. When they walk out, I want to see proud people walk away from the game eventually and give back to this game.
Kobus, as you were mentioning, of course, the various individuals in your team. We were we were lucky enough, rather, to talk to your captain, Alexis Bretton, a little bit earlier. Gavin Orens, our colleague, went and chatted to her, and let's have a quick look at that player profile right now.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. With me, I've got the captain of the Western Province women's cricket team, Alexis Bretton. As the friends call her Alexi, well, I suppose we can call her that too now, because I think she's a friend of ours now. She's been the captain for the last 2 years, part of the setup for the last 13 years. Earlier this year in May, she was part of the emerging Proteas team to play against Zimbabwe. She's also now part of the Momentum Proteas women's team, who just recently played against Bangladesh, but soon will be playing against Sri Lanka here on home soil. Alexi, welcome to From the Clubhouse, and I hope you're going to have a successful season.
Thank you very much.
Tell us about your role as captain of the Western Province women's team.
For me personally, it's an honor being part of the captain of this team. It's a great bunch of girls, and everyone's eager to play.
Now, you're not just part of the Western Province cricket team, you're also part of the national setup, as we've heard earlier on. How big is that in terms of your career?
It's very big.
But you're not the only one from Western Province. How many of you guys are involved in the national setup?
We've got 3 in the senior team and then about 5 or 6 in the emerging team.
You guys also recently got a few acquisitions here at Western Province. Talk us through that.
Yes, there's one. We've got Tatum Leroux, previously from Limpopo, Zizi, who's from Border, and then Bernardine Poseidonot, who was from SWD.
Now, locally, I believe you guys recently, as Western Province women's team, were kind of scattered amongst the clubs in the Western Province. What is the rationale behind that?
It was done basically just to spread the strength and to give the other teams to have so they can get experience from the provincial players and that the competition can be strong.
I know you personally will be playing for Durbanville Cricket Club, ladies. What will your role specifically be at Durbanville?
Basically to help them, not to help them, but to assist where I can with the captain because I've been captain, so she can learn from me and to bat.
You guys for the Proteas are preparing for Bangladesh out here soon. Are you looking forward to that series?
Sri Lanka, yes.
I'm in Sri Lanka.
Yes, I am.
What will your role specifically be as part of the Protea squad?
Previously it was a top order batsman, middle order batsman, so hopefully it will be the same again.
And personally, what is your expectation in terms of performance?
Basically just take it each game as it comes and do what I know I can do.
Now, for somebody sitting at home thinking, wow, she's a Protea cricket player, your life is not the same as, say, the men's Proteas team. What are the major differences?
Firstly, I still have a normal job and training you have to do on top of other things. So it's not just cricket.
So typically when you come to practice, it's after a hard day. How do you get yourself ready and prepared mentally for that?
It's just love for the game.
So it's a love for the game that drives you. How do you motivate those around you as captain though?
I think we've got the same goal. Everyone wants to be there, everyone wants to play. So I'm a very quiet captain, so they know how I operate.
Now, we know that you got a few guys playing for the national setup. There's been a little bit of a word that if you want to make the national team, come and play for Western Province. What is the mood like in the camp?
At the moment, it's good. We've got the emerging people away now, so there's new youngsters coming up and giving other people a chance to show what they can do. So it's good.
Okay, now somebody sitting at home, a lady wanting to play cricket, not having the guts yet to do it, what would your message be to them?
Go for it. It's a good sport. You meet good people, like lots of friends.
Seems like I'm the lucky one today, having the opportunity to speak to Alexi. I'll join you guys later in the studio. Back to you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Gav, and thanks for chatting to Lexi Bretton. Of course, Gavin now, of course, knows her very well, gets to call her by her shortened name. None of us can do that in studio because we don't know her that well. But a great girl and obviously very talented.
Very, very much so. Underrated player, one of the most underrated players in this country. And she was selected for SA at the age of 19. And then she declined for personal reasons, and this time around I said to her, after the amount of work that we've done, if you do that again to me, being your coach, I will murder you. And she's just taken it on, and she's going to make a success of it.
Yeah, no. And she seems to be a really good, strong leader of people as well.
Quiet, as she said in the interview, very, very quiet person, but she leads by example. And we've got our game plans and specific player roles for the players, so they just buy into it and feed off her from that.
Now, she was mentioning, Kobus, that a lot of the or not like on an ongoing basis, but there's a new batch of youngsters coming through because some of the squad are away with the emerging team, and is there that hand holding, that sharing of information, that almost mentoring that you see happening across a lot of the other senior teams? Is there an opportunity for the senior ladies players to spend time with the youngsters and mentor them as well?
Yes, indeed. At practice sessions, it helps me a lot. It's only a name you're a head coach, and you've only got a conditioning coach. We're not in a fortunate position where you've got a batting coach, a fielding coach, a bowling coach. So you've got to do a lot yourself, and I rely a lot on these national players coming back from there, what they've learned from me, what they've learned from the national setup, to bring that information to the players and to help them, and they're tremendous in that regard.
For us to get the necessary players out in the field with regards to black African players, is there a thrust that part of the squad that we're going to go into coaching clinics, that we try and develop these players or find these players within our club structures?
Yes, there is definitely. I think part of the plan on the one of the cards on the table for that is a coaching clinic coming up not so far from now, somewhere in November, where we will get all the Black African clubs together with our provincial squad and spend time with these girls a whole day with them, identifying talent. Obviously, if we pick up some good talent, we will bring them into the type of academy or something and give them the special attention that they need. I believe I'm one of the few coaches maybe in the country that believe that we've got the team to compete already internationally. I believe some people, it's an opinionated thing. And I believe we'll grow that. There's enough talent around in the Western Cape, being predominantly a coloured area, but there's enough Black African talent around that if we nurture them, look after them and coach them properly to reach the top.
Just a quick one. Last season, 2 seasons ago, Chandra Fritz Player of the Year, Senior Player of the Year. Season past, Laura Wolfhard, at the age of 14, SA Under-19 Player of the Year. How do you describe her coming through the pipeline and being part of the senior setup?
We're actually looking forward to having her aboard. It's amazing to have her in the squad and what she's bringing at that young tender age. Obviously, we've got to be very, very careful of overplaying her at this stage. You're going to get player breakdown and mental breakdowns as far as that's concerned. So we would like to bring her through, nurture her slowly, get her through the system. She's worked very, very well thus far. And I can just see big things coming from her. I personally think this is better than the next Jo-Marie Lochtenberg that we all know about, and that was the prodigy in women's cricket for when she got on the scene, and I believe this is way better than that.
Cobus Rood, thanks very much for your time. Cobus, of course, the head coach of the Western Province ladies cricket team, and with some big plans and big assignments on his hand, but doesn't sound like he's scared in any way, shape or form. And we certainly wish him and your team all the very best for the coming season.
We look forward to it.
I think any coach, Jeremy, will do well if you've got all those bag of tricksters.
And I think he's spoiled for choice. So good luck to you, Cobus, and to your team. And as I say, lots of trophies. There's certainly lots of space for it, so bring it along. We don't mind. We're going to be wrapping up the program, but first we'll take a quick commercial break.